Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bob Siddons, and at this time, I'd like to call the general membership meeting to order of BBU, October 29th, 2020. I'd like to welcome everyone to our Zoom conference. We had our board meeting this morning via Zoom, and it went very smooth, so I think we better get used to these procedures. At this time, I'd like to recognize our current BBU officers and board of directors and thank our retiring directors and ex officio for their dedicated time and service to the Beefmaster breed. Our late VP, J.C. Thompson, Secretary Kendall McKenzie, Treasurer Chris Kaufman, retiring directors Sue Pearson, Larry Larimore, Dr. Jim Colvin, and Jerry Thomas. Directors, Trey Shearer, James Skelton, Brian Malone, Tony Pensick, Jerry Davis, Larry Meacham, Mike Moss, Clark Jones, and our ex officio, Steve Carpenter. Steve may not be with us. They're had a terrible snowstorm or ice storm, and power is out in their county. I would like to thank all the committee members, committee chairs for all the effort to help steer our association in a productive and positive manner. By way of mailed proxies, you have seen names of those members who have been selected by the nominating committee to serve. They are President Larry Meacham, Vice President Derek Thompson, Directors Ty Agee, Cindy Emmons, Lorenzo Lassiter, and Quito Saenz. A proxy may be revoked by the person giving it, by the person appearing at the meeting and expressing his or her desire to do so, or a proxy may also be revoked at any time prior to the meeting by delivery of written revocation to the secretary of our meeting today, Mr. Kendall McKenzie. These proxies were received and tabulated by the accounting firm Randy and Walker and Company and presented to Travis Lugwood, who provided the official results. Secretary McKenzie, have you received any written proxy revocations?
No, sir, I have not. Do you hear me, Bob? Do you hear me, Bob?
Secretary McKenzie,
do you hear me, Bob?
Replied negative. Does anyone wish to revoke their proxy at this time? I'm hearing none. Are there any nominations from the floor? Hearing none. Placed in nomination by the nominating committee for a 2-year term are for President Larry Meacham, Vice President Derek Thompson, placed in nomination by the nominating committee for a 3-year term as director with their terms ending in 2023 are Ty Agee, Cindy Emmons, Lorenzo Lassiter, and Quito Saenz. Do I hear a motion to close nominations and elect these officers or directors by acclamation? Via chat, we have received a motion from Clark Jones and a second from Kendall McKenzie that nominations cease and we elect these list of nominees by acclamation. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the new 2020-21 Beefmaster Breeder United Officers and Directors. For President, Larry Meacham. For Vice President, Derek Thompson. Directors, Ty Agee, Cindy Emmons, Lorenzo Lassiter. keto signs. As one of my last acts as your president, I would like to thank the membership, the board, and all the committee members who have supported my efforts to move our breed forward. It is a humbling experience to be elected president of an association that I have so much respect for and loyalty to. In my final remarks as your president, I would like to give the membership my assessment of the state of our association. The financial position of our association has made significant progress over the past 2 years. From the end of 2018 to the end of 2019, our net equity grew from 537,000 to 656,000. And from 2019 to 2020, our net equity grew in excess of 166,000. Just as important to me is our current position, which is our current assets to our current liabilities. At the end of 2018, our current assets only exceeded our current liabilities by $55,000, which is a pretty perilous spot. By the end of 2019, our current position had improved to 192,000. And by our latest financials report in September, our position was in excess of 400,000. Tremendous improvement. We owe a great amount of gratitude to our treasurer, Chris Kaufman, for his detailed cost analysis of all our services, which allowed us to make appropriate fee adjustments that led to these improved financial results. Next, I would like to report on several ongoing projects. First is the Beefmaster herd being established at Texas A&M University. As you may recall, Texas A&M is establishing a Red Angus herd to represent the Boss Taurus cattle and a Beefmaster herd to represent Boss Indicus cattle. About 20 top-end Beefmaster heifers from some of our most progressive breeders have been donated to the university. Semen was also donated, and these heifers will be calving in the spring of 2021. Second, Oklahoma State has also decided to establish a Beefmaster herd, and our breeders have stepped forward and donated another 20 heifers to this program as well. OSU is using smart feed systems and GPS tracking to study efficiency and behavioral characteristics of cattle. With our reputation for efficiency, they couldn't hardly do the study without us. Thirdly, is the crossbreeding research now going on at Noble Research Institute. The Institute set parameters for semen donation and chose the Nueces bull owned by Dr. Jim Colvin and the Elbar bull owned by Lorenzo Lassiter. Around 150 commercial Angus cows were AI'd to these two bulls and will be calving next year. I can't overstate the significance of these three projects. Just think of the exposure future veterinarians and extension agents will have with our easy handling Beefmaster cows and how the studies at OSU dovetail into sustainability, which is the latest industry buzzword. These are tremendous long-term benefits to our breed. But what's going on at the Noble Research Institute could have an even bigger short-term benefit. The Institute has over 1,500 cooperative ranches in their integrity program, which translates close to 50,000 commercial, mostly Angus cows. They're beginning to practice what they preach, heterosis and crossbreeding, and have selected Beefmaster bulls to use in their own herd. Just imagine what could happen to the demand for our bulls when they start recommending crossbreeding to their 1,500 cooperative ranches. These are exciting times for our breed, and our membership is growing. We've added over 115 net new members so far this year, and our membership stands at 3,640 members at last count. None of this could have been possible without the dedicated staff led by our EVP, Colin Osborne. Colin's relationship with universities and the Noble Institute has led to our breed's inclusion in their research, and his management of our business affairs has led to our financial improvement. Lance Bowers, as Director of Breed Improvement, has also played a big part in getting Beefmaster Genetics involved in these research projects. How could any of us get by without our office manager, Donna Henderson, and her assistant, Brandy Feller? Our communications coordinator, Geraldine Novak, just helped put together the best RFD TV show we've ever produced, with record viewership and wonderful feedback. We recently added John Garza as International Program Coordinator, and Riley Barber, our Youth and Membership Coordinator, and Melissa Becker handles DNA. It's been my privilege and pleasure to work with each of these professionals, and BBU has an outstanding staff and one to be proud of. I'm also proud of our Beefmaster Education Endowment Foundation. Beef has made it possible for our members to donate close to 40 heifers to universities and finance several other research activities. With over $1.5 million in pledges, Beef will play a major role in the future of BBU. You know, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. And sometimes you hear a song that has a similar effect. I would like at this time to play a song by Mike Blakely that conveys a message that's relevant to the future of our association.
When I was a young boy, my age was barely 10, riding my first roundup with the older boys and men. Foreman sent our best hand where lesser men might be, to ride the outside circle, longest, roughest trail. I watched that top hand ride out on a skittish colt that day. Once on a distant ridge, I saw him turning horns my way. He penned the herd by evening, his pony soaked with sweat. I made myself a promise that I still remember yet. One day I'd ride the outside circle, and I'd make the top hand, riding through the sage so purple, round the old Tio stand. And I'd chouse the wildest cattle on the roughest broncos, and I'd ride the outside circle for the brand. I held my promise sacred, and I ain't keep my word. I learned to throw a fast loop from the rankest in the herd. And it was 10 years later when I heard the roundup boss. He said, "You'll ride the outside circle, son. Go catch yourself a horse." And I rode the outside circle, and I became top hand, riding through the sage so purple, round the old Tio stand. And I challenged the wildest cattle on the roughest broncos, and I rode the outside circle for the brand. These days, I am the foreman Some say I'm growing old. It's true, my hair is silver, and it's plain my legs are bowed. I ride the inside circles now, but just ask my cowboy peers. They know I rode that outside circle for well nigh 30 years. Yes, I rode the outside circle. I became top hand, riding through the sage so purple, round the old Mateo stands, and I choused the wildest cat on the roughest broncos, and I rode the outside circle for the brand. And in dreams I ride the ridges, in my stirrups I still stand, and I ride the outside circle for the brand.
Well, I guess you can see where I'm going with this message. The BBU brand. It's what we're all riding for. We'll all be asked at some point to make a top end. It may be convincing your neighbor to try a Beefmaster bull, or serving on a satellite board or committee, or a BBU committee, or an officer of director of BBU. Let's always remember our diversity is one of our strengths that allows Beefmaster cattle to work in multiple environments across this country and the world. And our competition is not different types of Beefmasters, but other breeds. Let's each of us make a pledge to ride for the BBU brand. Be ready to take our turn in the outer circle. Thanks again for allowing me to serve as your president. And I'm happy to turn the job over to Mr. Larry Meacham as your new president.
Bob, don't run off. On behalf of the BBU membership and staff, we'd like to thank you, Bob, from the bottom of our heart, for your time, your effort, and extreme dedication to Beefmaster Breeders United. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to award you a gift from all of us. Hand-built hat from Catalina.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You bet, good luck.
Well, here we are. I'd like to thank the Beefmaster family for giving me the opportunity to serve as your incoming president for the next couple of years. There's some big shoes to fill. A lot of guys have served us well over the course of time. I probably met most of the active members over the past 30 years of being a Beefmaster breeder, and I welcome the opportunity to meet the members that I have not met at this time. My phone number will be published, I'm sure, and I'll be willing to hear the good sides and the bad sides. That's what helps us grow. I will say this, I truly think that the Beefmaster breed is in a really, really good spot in the cattle industry. I also understand in order to continue the growth of a breed, it takes commitment, dedication, and a progressive vision, and a tremendous amount of hard work on all of our parts to continue the growth and to push our breed forward. I'm going to make this all short and sweet, guys. It's really what, as it boils down. I want you to always remember we're Beefmaster Breeders United, a family. And Beefmaster Breeders, we will stand going forward. I thank you, and this will conclude our general membership meeting. We'll see you down the road.